when you don't forgive, when you harbor resentment, it's robbing you of your energy. The reason why we forgive others so that we could be free of the negative energy that it is robbing us of. One of the problems we have with forgiving is that we feel that if we forgive, we're giving them a free pass. We feel that when we don't forgive, I can hold them hostage and I can cause them misery. When essentially, when we need to know that when we are willing to depart from the anguish that was done to us, we're also professing the highest level of Emuna. Because if I can forgive, it means I'm bringing it to its full fruition. The experience is brought to the full fruition, to the finish line. The finish line, again, one of the things I'm going to be teaching heavy on is the consciousness of forgiveness in the Healing Hearts program. I don't talk about it too much now, but I'm going to really go in depth in that program. But one of the things I want us to understand is the only way to really do what we're here to do is to get to a point where we could really see Hashem's loving light in the situation. When I could really see the smell the roses in the vase and not get stuck with the thorns, that means that I really have brought it to its final stage. That's when I know I'm done with it. It's not when I say, oh, I'm not upset with them anymore. That's not forgiveness. Real forgiveness means I could see why it happened. I could cherish the lesson of why it happened. And I could see how it's making me and the world a better place. That is true forgiveness. That's hard, and that's a process. Don't expect to be done and over with. Usually that happens in shavings of systems and in progressive forgivings and letting goes. Understand a basic Emuna rule. And this basic Emuna rule is brought into a very beautiful therapy. Again, something that I teach in the, I'm going to be teaching Healing Hearts. I'm going to be teaching the mirror therapy. I'm going to learn it very intense of how I could use the mirror idea. And again, something that Baal Shem Tov teaches. It's a very specific therapy that we use on ourselves. I'm not going to explain it here, but I'm going to explain the concept of it here, is when you could understand, which is what the Baal Shem Tov, he has a whole Torah called the Torah of Mirrors. When you could see the whole world as your mirror, and you recognize that everything that you meet in your life is you, what you're really doing is you're seeing yourself. There is nobody else. En od milvado means there's nobody else. There's nobody. Guess what? There's nobody else but Hashem. We're not here. We're not here. We're not even here. It's a complete delusion that we think we're here. It's only Hashem. And all the people in my life are only puppets in the hands of Hashem. And they're all here to teach me about something else that needs to be corrected in me. That's the baseline of mirror. So if I met something in my life, such as pain, abuse, some horrible traumas that seemingly were caused by someone else, it was just to teach me something about me that I needed to learn through pain. It's a very deep concept. It's not something I can teach too much in here, but I need to remember that I always say one of the reasons why I go to parent-teacher conference. Why do I go to parent-teacher conference? Because I want to know what's going on with my child. Do I want the teacher to just tell me how wonderful my child is? Of course I do. But what if my child is not right? Maybe, what if she tells me she's noticing something? Do I want to know about that? This is what I have to ask myself. Do I want to know the issues that are going on with my children? Of course I do. Why do I want to know? Because then I can help them. If I'm going out to an important interview and I just finished having chocolate milk, And I have a beautiful chocolate milk mustache over here, but I'm going to an interview. It's really important. I gotta look my best. And I meet a friend on the street. Looks so beautiful. How you doing? Tell me, did you notice you kind of have a little kind of mustache over there? Can I get you a tissue for that? Wouldn't you want her to tell you you have a chocolate milk mustache, or you have I don't know, something growing out of your face you don't really think is going to be presentable and making a good impression? You know how much we don't like it. We kind of like it. We kind of want to know what's going on inside of us. It gives us an opportunity to repair. I'm just going to say the shocking thing that will hopefully take you out of your seats. After 120, when we come to Shemaim and we meet Hashem, and He shows us the story of our lives, one of the things we're going to yell out to Hashem, and Hashem knows this. We're going to say to Him, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me that all of this stuff was stuff I needed to deal with? I mean, I lost the opportunity of a lifetime. And Hashem's going to say, I did. Did you remember that newsletter you got at your door every Friday? Don't you remember that program, Orit Esther? Remember she taught you? Don't you remember that class you happened upon in YouTube? Don't you remember that book you picked off of the shelf at Barnes & Noble? Don't you remember that, not for you, any of you, that cancer you got? Don't you remember that you lost all your money and you broke down completely? That was me. I was trying to get your attention. How many times you want me to get your attention? How many times you want me to show you your chocolate milk mustache? How many times do I have to tell you got to clean up your act? How many times did I tell you need to forgive that person? Otherwise, cancers are brought and born out of resentment. You know anybody with cancer? They are holding and harboring on to resentment. The word Saltan is Saltina. The Stipler HaKadosh said years ago when his students came to him and said, what is going on in the Jewish world? Why is there so much cancer? He said, tell them to stop hating one another and there won't be any more cancer. Saltina, stop the resentment. Because we're only harboring horrible cells in our body. You're doing this so that you can let go of the consciousness that's robbing you of your energy.